Hello, I'm Dr. Arthur Harrington, and today we're diving into a transformative exploration of habit formation and personal growth. We'll be reviewing Atomic Habits by James Clear, a book that reveals how small, consistent changes can lead to extraordinary results. Whether you're looking to enhance your productivity, build better routines, or understand the science behind habit formation, this review will guide you through the key insights and practical strategies that can help you make lasting improvements in your life. Let's get started. In the first part of Atomic Habits, James Clear introduces the concept of small, incremental changes leading to significant transformations over time. Clear emphasizes that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. He argues that just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them across time. By focusing on tiny improvements, individuals can gradually achieve remarkable results. Clear asserts that the key to making lasting change is not in making one dramatic shift, but in making small adjustments that compound over time. Clear also introduces the idea of the 1% rule, which suggests that if you improve by just 1% every day, the cumulative effect over time will be substantial. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. This concept underscores that continuous incremental progress is more effective than aiming for sudden, dramatic change. Clear reinforces that even slight improvements, when consistently applied, can lead to significant outcomes. The book discusses the role of identity in shaping habits. Clear points out that the goal is not to read a book, the goal is to become a reader. He argues that instead of focusing on the outcome or the goal, one should focus on becoming the type of person who embodies the desired behavior. This shift in focus from achieving external goals to developing an internal identity helps in creating more sustainable habits. To illustrate these concepts, Clear provides the example of a man who wanted to get fit. Instead of committing to an intense workout regime, he started by making a habit of putting on his workout clothes every day. This small, seemingly trivial action helped him overcome the inertia of starting. And as he gradually built up the habit, he began working out regularly. This approach demonstrates the power of small, consistent actions and the importance of focusing on identity over outcomes. In Part 2 of Atomic Habits, James Clear delves into the mechanics of habit formation and the cues that trigger behaviors. He introduces the concept of the habit loop, which consists of a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward. Clear explains that every habit is a loop of cue, craving, response, and reward, and understanding this loop is essential for both creating good habits and breaking bad ones. By identifying and modifying the cues that trigger habits, individuals can make meaningful changes to their behavior. Clear emphasizes the importance of making cues more obvious to establish new habits. He argues that you are more likely to follow through with a habit if the cue is visible and obvious. This can be achieved through environmental design, where one alters their surroundings to make the desired habit more prominent and the unwanted habit less accessible. For example, placing a book on your pillow can serve as a visual cue to read before bed. Additionally, Clear discusses the role of cravings in driving behavior. He notes that cravings are the feeling you get when you think about the rewards you get from a habit. To form a new habit, it is crucial to build a craving for the rewards that come from it. By making the rewards of new habits appealing and focusing on the positive outcomes, individuals can enhance their motivation. Clear also addresses the importance of making responses easier to execute. The more difficult a behavior is, the less likely it is to occur. Simplifying the actions required for a habit can help in reducing friction and increasing the likelihood of sticking to the habit. For instance, if you want to start exercising regularly, keeping your workout gear ready and easily accessible can lower the barriers to starting. To illustrate these principles, Clear provides the example of a person trying to develop a habit of drinking more water. By placing a water bottle on their desk where they can easily see and access it, the cue, seeing the bottle, becomes more obvious. As a result, they are more likely to drink water throughout the day, demonstrating how modifying cues and making habits more convenient can lead to successful habit formation. In Part 3 of Atomic Habits, James Clear explores the concept of habit stacking and the importance of making new habits easier to maintain. Clear introduces the strategy of habit stacking, which involves linking a new habit to an existing one. He explains, the key to creating a new habit is to anchor it to an existing habit. By tying a new behavior to a routine you already follow, you leverage the automaticity of the existing habit to help establish the new one. Clear also discusses the role of environment in habit formation, highlighting how altering your surroundings can make habits more manageable. He states, environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. Making small adjustments to your environment can significantly impact your ability to adhere to new habits. For example, if you want to read more books, placing a book on your nightstand ensures it's within reach and serves as a visual reminder. The book further examines the significance of making habits attractive to increase the likelihood of sticking to them. Clear notes, the more attractive an opportunity, the more likely it is to become a habit. By associating positive feelings with a habit, such as enjoying a favorite podcast while exercising, you can enhance motivation and make the new behavior more appealing. Clear also emphasizes the role of consistency and gradual improvement. He asserts, small changes often appear insignificant at the time, but they can lead to remarkable results if you're willing to stick with them for years. The cumulative effect of small, consistent changes is critical for long-term success. To illustrate these points, Clear provides the example of someone who wants to develop a habit of stretching every morning. They can stack this new habit by linking it to an existing morning routine, such as brushing their teeth. For instance, after brushing their teeth, they immediately spend a few minutes stretching. This habit stacking technique uses the existing habit, brushing teeth, to anchor the new habit, stretching, making it easier to remember and maintain. This approach effectively leverages the existing routine to build a new beneficial habit. In Part 4 of Atomic Habits, James Clear delves into the strategies for maintaining and improving habits over the long term. He introduces the concept of making habits satisfying, explaining that immediate rewards are crucial for reinforcing good habits. Clear argues that people are more likely to stick with a habit if they receive a tangible reward soon after the behavior is performed. This immediate gratification helps to create a positive feedback loop that encourages the continuation of the habit. Clear emphasizes the significance of tracking progress as a means of maintaining motivation. He notes, tracking habits gives you visual proof of your progress. By keeping a record of your habits, whether through a journal or an app, you can visually see your improvements, which reinforces the habit and motivates you to continue. Tracking serves as a form of positive reinforcement and helps maintain focus on long-term goals. The book also covers the idea of identity-based habits, stressing that the most effective way to change your habits is to focus on who you wish to become. Clear argues that shifting your identity to align with your desired behavior makes the process of habit formation more natural. When habits are tied to your self-image, they become an integral part of your life rather than just a set of tasks to complete. Clear discusses the importance of making habits sustainable by ensuring they fit into your lifestyle and align with your values. Sustainability is the key to long-term success, he writes, highlighting that habits should be designed to be realistic and manageable. If a habit is too extreme or misaligned with your values, it's less likely to be maintained over time. To illustrate these principles, Clear provides the example of someone trying to save money. By tracking their spending and setting up a visual reminder, such as a savings chart, they create a satisfying, immediate reward in the form of visual progress. This tracking reinforces the habit of saving, while the focus on becoming a financially responsible person helps align the behavior with their identity. By making the habit of saving both satisfying and sustainable, they improve their likelihood of long-term success in managing their finances. In Part 5 of Atomic Habits, James Clear addresses the challenges of breaking bad habits and how to overcome them by applying the principles of habit formation in reverse. He discusses the concept of making bad habits less attractive by altering the cues associated with them. Clear notes, the first step to breaking a bad habit is to make it invisible. By removing the cues or triggers that lead to a bad habit, you can reduce the likelihood of engaging in the behavior. Clear also emphasizes the importance of making bad habits more difficult to perform. He argues that the more friction you add to a behavior, the less likely you are to do it. By increasing the effort required to engage in a bad habit, you create barriers that discourage the behavior. For instance, if you want to stop watching TV late into the night, you could remove the remote control or unplug the TV, making it more inconvenient to engage in that habit. Another key strategy Clear introduces is to make the negative consequences of bad habits more immediate and apparent. He explains, the more immediate the pain, the more likely you are to avoid it. By creating immediate negative feedback associated with a bad habit, you can increase your motivation to avoid it. This principle helps to counteract the delayed consequences of bad habits, which often lead to procrastination. Clear also discusses the concept of habit substitution, where you replace a bad habit with a more positive one. He asserts that you can't eliminate a habit, you can only replace it with a new one. By substituting a healthier behavior for a negative one, you make it easier to shift your routine and build better habits. To illustrate these strategies, Clear provides the example of someone trying to reduce their consumption of junk food. By making junk food less accessible, such as by keeping it out of the house and storing healthier options in plain sight, they make the bad habit less convenient. Additionally, by setting up a system where they reward themselves for choosing healthier foods, they create a positive substitution for the bad habit. This approach effectively uses the principles of making bad habits invisible and difficult while encouraging the adoption of more beneficial behaviors. In the conclusion of Atomic Habits, James Clear introduces the Goldilocks rule, which posits that for a habit to be sustainable and motivating, it must be within the optimal zone of difficulty, neither too easy nor too hard. Clear explains that the Goldilocks rule states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. This means that tasks should be challenging enough to be engaging, but not so difficult that they become overwhelming. Finding this balance is crucial for maintaining motivation and achieving consistent progress. Clear emphasizes the importance of setting tasks that are appropriately challenging. He argues, when tasks are too easy, you get bored. When tasks are too hard, you get discouraged. The key to sustaining habits is to continuously adjust the difficulty level to keep it within this optimal range. This balance ensures that you remain engaged and motivated without becoming disheartened or disengaged. The Goldilocks rule also highlights the need for regular adjustments to maintain progress. Clear notes: to avoid falling into boredom or burnout, you need to continually adjust the difficulty of your habits. This means that as you improve, you should gradually increase the challenge to keep yourself engaged and to foster continued growth. Clear underscores that achieving the right level of difficulty requires self-awareness and periodic reassessment. He suggests that by staying attuned to your own abilities and adjusting accordingly, you can find the sweet spot that keeps you motivated and progressing. To illustrate the Goldilocks rule, Clear provides the example of a person learning to play a musical instrument. If the person starts with pieces that are too simple, they may lose interest quickly. Conversely, if the pieces are too complex, they might become frustrated. The optimal approach is to select pieces that are challenging yet achievable, thus keeping the learner engaged and motivated to continue practicing. By finding and maintaining this balance, the person can consistently improve their skills and stay motivated in their musical journey. And there you have it, my friends. If you found this summary helpful and would like to see more content like this, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more insights and tips on achieving your best habits.